I love these things. Anyway, let's talk about two books. I've been asked about books quite a bit, so I'll start discussing two that, one I've recommended, one is just interesting if nothing else. One would be The Only Planet of Choice. Alright, this book is fairly old. I've described it a couple of times on interviews. What I do find interesting about this book is the theme of it is a channeling, which I don't always go along with channelings, but this one is from the Council of Nine that described himself coming from the zone of cold. So that's very interesting. They also describe several different civilizations that are quantum levelly, in a quantum level way, like here on Earth. Kind of like Earth might be like an onion, my understanding, through the shamanism and through other things, is the Earth is more like an onion. The dimensions, the layers of an onion, the Earth is a lot like that. So this describes that. Another thing very interesting about this is that during the channeling sessions, there's several individuals in a group asking questions of the channeler. One of them goes by GR, that's Gene Roddenberry, probably about 3 years before the original Star Trek was produced. So just thought that was interesting. The other book would be this one. And these are both Earth books, you'll notice. This one is Earth, the Pleiadian Keys to the Living Library by Barbara Martinique, or however you pronounce her last name. She's done a couple of decent works, another one called The Bringers of the Dawn and others. I don't always prescribe to everything that is said about the Pleiadians, alright? That's a sector of space that you have a lot more going on there than just that. But it's concerning this. I find this interesting because it correlates somewhat with some of my past life memories. Past life memory wise, I know that there was a type 2 civilization here on Earth and that we sent out things into space, not unlike what NASA's doing right now, alright? And that way some of these things correlate to what science fiction calls the Bracewell Probe, alright? Which is a probe that comes, kind of like 2001, it comes and waits for a civilization to actually make it to type 1 civilization, and then it makes contact for a galactic citizenship. Alright, that's a Bracewell probe. Along science fiction also describes other things similar to that. Another one is a von Neumann probe. Another one is a Berserker probe, which is more like a self-replicating satellite that comes to investigate newly formed planets. The other ones would be a seed planet ship that actually is seeding planets, alright? These are science fiction terms, but in that way, this book I correlate to not just the Earth being the living library, but also the probe that was sent out there that will come back from when Earth was a type 2 civilization. In that way, maybe Star Trek should be looked at. Star Trek, the original motion picture, and what they called Voyager. Voyager went out and came back, was actually Voyager, and that's not unlike how a lot of things like Skylab, and a lot of the rocket boosters right now from NASA fall back to Earth after a certain amount of time. So I think these are things that should be looked at, things that are entering our solar system that are near Earth objects. These need to be observed to possibly be one of these Bracewell probes from type 2 Earth, ancient Earth that's coming back, probably loaded with knowledge. I watched things like Comet L9, I thought might be this. Comet Siding Spring, I suspect it might be also a Bracewell probe. VG 1991, close to Earth. The Black Knight, close to Earth. Another one called 2000 SG, I think it's 2000. Anyway, they're all near Earth objects that need to be observed to possibly be a Bracewell probe, what I think Barbara Martinique is talking about here. That's just my opinion. These are things you look up for yourself, view them yourself, trust yourself. God bless.